Focus on. Here you go.
Welcome to GCU Arena, everybody, and happy Saturday. Alongside Philip Katafamo, I'm Alex Larson. Today's matchup features the UMKC Roos and the Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Lopes coming off a win, but right now, let's go to the court and get starting lineups.
Head coach Trent Jones and assistant coach Johnny Olson. Lopes fans, it's that time. Grand Canyon University on your feet for the starting lineup for your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. At setter, a 5'10" sophomore from Highland, California. Number 1, Taylor Redfield. An outside hitter, a 5'8" freshman from Long Beach, California. Number 3, Tegan DeFalco. An outside hitter, a 6-foot freshman from Highland, California. Number 8, Claire Kovinsky. The libero's a 5'9" sophomore from Rochester Hills, Michigan. Number 9, Emma Ahern. And middle blocker, a 6'2" sophomore from Spokane, Washington. Number 12, Maria Adams. An outside hitter, a 6'2" senior from Phoenix, Arizona. Number 15, Natalie Tardy. And a middle blocker, a 6-foot sophomore from the pride of Mountain Point High School in Phoenix, Arizona. Number 20, Kendall Gray. The Lopes are 6-14 on the season, 1-7 in Western Athletic Conference play. They're led by head coach Tim Nolan, assistant coaches Jay Van Bart and Ari Smith, director of volleyball operations Rachel Ferguson, team manager Dennis Flowers, athletic trainer Rachel Bodie, strength and conditioning coach Anna Kuzan. Officiating this afternoon's contest, on the ladder, Patrick Bradley. On the floor, Gigi Grenade. Line judges, Marilyn Dumbrell and Jennifer Brock. And as always, providing the in-game entertainment, the Thundering Artef Band.
Well, you got to figure, Phil, the Lopes have the upper hand. A big win, their first at home and in the WAC. But not only that, they dominated Chicago State Thursday night.
A 3-1 win was huge for GCU on Thursday against Chicago State, led by Natalie Tardy. She had 15 kills, 962 on her career. She's currently 35 away from that illustrious 1,000. And well, hopefully she can maybe get to that tonight. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough competition. Last time the Lopes matched up with the Roos was in Kansas City, where the Roos came away with a win in 5 sets, led by Alicia Harrington.
Well, last year, the Roos got the best of the Lopes in both matches, 2-0. This year, obviously, GCU looking to beat the Roos for the first time in 2 years and keep the momentum going on the court and ready to go. So the starters are going to be Kayla Redfield, Tegan DeFalco, Claire Kavensky, Maria Adams, Natalie Tardy, Kendall Gray, and the libero subbing in as Emma Ahern. And so we are set to go. It's Tegan DeFalco who'll serve it off. And there's a service ace. She had one, only one. And here, the first serve, she gets one.
Well, a great start to GCU. I mean, you can't imagine an even better one than having a service ace on the first serve.
Well, momentum seeming to look good so far. And keep an eye on UMKC, Alicia Harrington, who received both of those. But that point is put down by number 17, Allie Shomers.
Just a great drop right over the top of the net for Ali Shomers. And just like that, we're tied 1-1.
Shomers is going to serve. Every set above 220 on Thursday night for the Lopes. Very impressive numbers and a solid win. Nice job of Emma Ahern keeping that one up after the block. And now to the UMKC side. And that point goes to GCU. It was just outside the line. That was Alexia Mori.
Looks like the Roos were looking hopefully for a tip off one of the GCU, one of the backcourt defenders, but that one just sails right out of bounds.
Ahern, she has not had service ace in a couple games. Nice little play there. Sadler keeping the hands up. It's going to be a bit of a challenge compared to Thursday night. Much taller.
Well, GCU definitely had the height advantage against Chicago State, but they've got a lot of benefits here against UMKC. UMKC currently 5-3 at home. They are 0-7 away. So the Lopes are not only trying to build off the win against Chicago State, but also try to take advantage of how bad the Roos are away.
And never an easy thing to do is come into GCU Arena and win 1,000 on hand for Thursday night's win. And it was rowdy. No block there, and now Harrington will put that one down. Nice job getting spin on the ball with her wrist.
Like we talked about, Alicia Harrington, definitely the player to watch for the Roos. Last time they played against GCU in KC, she had 22 kills, 22 digs, a double-double, and 4 blocks. She is a massive presence for this Roos team.
Last year, she dominated this GCU squad, beating them 3-0 at home. Remember watching that and remembering how amazing she was. And now Kavensky kept up, set by Shomers. Kill incomplete by Jacobs. And then an attempt by Kavensky, successful. So GCU gets the point on the line.
Great job by Claire Kavensky to just get the corner of the court for that great spike.
Oh, it would be huge if GCU could consistent and win this first set. Keep momentum going right from Thursday and like their odds from there. Schomer sets, and that's off, so it'll be a point for GCU. Sadler mishit that one.
Alex, you talked about the height advantage against Chicago State, and it was pretty obvious that the Lopes had the height advantage against the shorter front line for the Chicago State Cougars, but like you said, we're really, really well matched up here. I'm pretty sure the front line is relatively the same height as ours.
Oh yeah, and it was evident as that point put down by Schomer's. A nice play and a little slam dunk, but evident. Only 6 blocks for Chicago State at the net and 13 for GCU, so uncharacteristically of them to have the advantage in blocks, but they did Thursday night. Nice little play by Carpenter, but net violation call as she tries to jump over that one, and UMKC, just like that, leads 5-4. Michael Sadler is going to serve. She is second in kills on this team behind Alicia Harrington, 169. And that was a nice play on the far side, and that's that height advantage.
Yeah, Alicia Mori able to just basically swat it down in between the big hole of the Lopes defenders.
Service by Sadler. That was received by DeFalco. And now Kavensky's going to come and try and kill that one. And it's going to land. The blocking hands unsuccessful for UMKC there.
GCU trying to keep the presence at the net as strong as possible, especially matching up really well against UMKC.
And there, again, put down. That was just too hard for Emma Ahern to handle. Nice play by Alexia Mori. Substitutions coming on. Kennedy Myers comes back on. And she will serve. Also, number 9, Michaela Martinez checks onto the court for the Roos. Left-handed serve, just barely over the net. That trajectory is tough to receive. Ooh. But out, DeFalco's gonna get it. Off the blocking hands outside the antenna. GCU trails by 1, 7-6. As Tressa Schuler comes on and Maria Adams comes off.
Schuler 40 kills, 11 aces. See if she can make it 12.
Then Harrington, nice little poke, and then put down up top of the net again by Alexia Morey. So that's something they did not see. They didn't have to worry about as much, so they could leave the middle of the court open against Chicago State, but not here today.
No, and it seems like UMKC is taking advantage of what the Lopes are doing, which is leaving the court wide open in the middle, drop shots right over the top, and just finding wherever GCU isn't. So the shifts on defense have got to get better.
Spiegel sets that one and then killed by number 9, Michaela Martinez. So Martinez coming on and making a difference. UMKC leads this one now 9-6, and something you can't see for GCU is this lead start to be 3 or 4 or even 5. Right off the line, a good eye by Tegan DeFalco to let that one go.
Well, it seems like every time the Lopes give up a point, they're able to get one back, but they're going to have to start playing a little better defense, guarding at the net, having the presence at the net. It seems like UMKC is slightly taller than the Lopes, but not by a significant amount where it's going to be an issue like where we saw against Idaho way back early on in the season where they clearly had the height advantage.
Nope, there's a height advantage used too strong as Morey sends it off the back line, puts too much behind it, and now GCU trails by 1 with a chance to bring it back to even. And it's a service ace. 2, just as much as they had Thursday night they've got here in the first set.
It's going to be all about momentum. Who's going to start it off? Who's going to finish off the momentum? They match up too well, and then both teams really, for the most part, don't really have a super strong difference over each other. They're both relatively the same team, except maybe just a slight height advantage for UMKC, but I don't know, it's going to be all about momentum.
Well, and it's going to come with this 4 in a row for GCU here. There's the momentum they needed, and down 9-6 just a second ago. They're up 11-9 now. And a diving effort by Myers, hits it backwards. And a timeout is called by UMKC, so we will take one with them.
Hey you, are you ready? Grab your pack, grab your tent, grab your gear. Jump in. We're going on an adventure. In Arizona, there's so much to see, so much to experience. At GCU, adventure is never too far away. Offering over 200 academic programs with a Christian worldview and nestled in the heart of Phoenix, you can earn your degree in fewer than 4 years and explore everything Arizona has to offer. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/AZ road trip.
Welcome back, GCU. 6 in a row, and they forced UMKC to call a timeout, up 12-9.
Well, when you match up against a team like this, like UMKC, where they're relatively the same team, it's going to come down to momentum, and GCU is trying to get the momentum back in their way. They were down for most of this first set, but now they've got the lead.
Well, that's right, and 20 seconds left in the timeout. Let's hope GCU can keep the momentum. That's something they did a great job of Thursday night against Chicago State when they forced another team to call a timeout, or they called a timeout. They were able to execute on their game plan.
Yeah, it seems like the Lopes were able to kind of shake the Cougars off their feet against Chicago State, but that's what they're going to have to do tonight against UMKC is try to get the ball back, try to control the possession, try to get as many points as possible, and work on defensive shifts. UMKC is finding a lot of points in the open holes of the defenders on the front lines, and they've got to plug up those holes if they're going to walk away with this win.
This is a better UMKC team, and now to serve is going to be GCU, and now onto the UMKC side. Good job of Redfield to keep that one up. That was who served it, but then Tardy could not kill it. A nice diving effort on the UMKC side, and they will end up with the point off the timeout.
Just past the hands of the diving Emma Ahern, but you know, the Lopes have got to keep it close, and they've got it relatively close here. They've got the lead. They just got to keep it. They were able to control most possessions last time against Chicago State, but like a team against, like a team of UMKC, you've got to keep the lead when you've got it.
And I'd really say that goes for any team in the WAC as GCU wins the points. So 7 of the last 8 points have gone to GCU, but really in the WAC, I mean, in any sport, in any interconference play, it's really just a battle and unpredictable what will happen. That first set against Chicago State, 31-29. We just kept playing there, so a little extra exerted energy as that kill is Michael Sadler. Substitutions, Brooke Jacobs for UMKC, and Allie Shomers will serve. 13-11 the Lopes lead. Received by Kavensky, and now she's going to get a chance to kill it. Nice job of Spiegel trying to get over the net, but she didn't touch it. Good job of Kavensky keeping away. Tardy, far side, and gets it right down the line. Attacking Spiegel gets the kill. Maria Adams, the blocking leader with 80 on this Lopes squad, comes on and will take her spot in front of the net. Aaron serves Shomers, and that was a nice try and then put down right at the net. And Phil, that's what we're talking about.
Yep, you got to plug up the holes. I'm pretty sure almost, for the most part, every point has come off either finding a hole, poking it right over the top of the net. The Lopes got to find a way to stop that. But a great job by the Roos to find the open holes of the Lopes defenders.
It's going to be a three-headed monster, Morey, Sadler, and Harrington for UMKC all day long. As Kavensky sends that one in with power, 15-12. Gets the kill.
Fantastic kill by Kavensky, just getting the backside of the net, of the court.
Sarah Haig comes on. Shomers sets. That was a nice little play by UMKC to kind of distract GCU, but up to the task of the Lopes. Spiegel sets there kind of behind, and that was not a good set, and as a result, right into the net by Ratzlaff. 16-12, GCU leads. Heidi Carpenter will serve it, and she will barely miss the line. Service air there, but like the idea.
Yeah, just kind of clipped the corner of the net, or the court, but just a little too far left.
And now Kavensky, she will find the corner. Yep, that one didn't miss. GCU looking good in this first set. Beautiful job of Kavensky, and it starts with the set, but tucked that one right in the corner.
Just past the front line of the Roos. Right to the back side of the net, but an unfortunate service error following that, but great job by Kavensky regardless.
5 attacking errors already for UMKC, 1 for GCU. It's going to be a stat to focus on and minimize for the Lopes. Falco had a bunch of power behind that one, couldn't get it over the hands, and I think we saw success with that Thursday night and not here, as UMKC is going to get the point at the net.
A great joust at the net for both teams, but yeah, UMKC just able to push that ball right over for another point.
Here's the serve. Nice job by Ahern to keep it off her body, really, and that one's too far, about 2 ball lengths off the back line. You see some of the pink out there on these players.
That is October.
Of course, just
Breast
like in the
Cancer Awareness
NFL,
Month.
yep. And there's DeFalco off the deflection. 2-point lead again, 18-16. Tresha Schuler comes on, hoping to make this a 3-point lead, and nice serve. And then Harrington, I think, has too much on it. She does. Way too much, and GCU up by 3.
Well, Lopes got to take advantage of whenever Alicia Harrington messes up because she is an absolute dynamite for this team. 211 kills, 198 digs, and she has been phenomenal tonight.
Schuler, nice serve right over the net. And that one mishit by number 9, Martinez. And so a couple mistakes in a row, and now GCU 5 away. We talked about the momentum of this whole match if they win this first set. Kennedy Myers sets it to Alicia Harrington, and Harrington finds only her 2nd kill.
Well, as soon as we talk about her, Alicia Harrington just spikes it right over the front line of the Lopes. Like I said, last time they played, 22 kills, 22 digs, 4 blocks. She's only got 2 so far tonight, but it's still a very, very early contest, and she is extremely good. Miss hit again by Spiegel.
And then Haig is going to get the point. Finds the open spot. And timeout on the court. We will be right back.
I'm Bianca, I'm a sophomore here at GCU, and I'm studying mechanical engineering.
Arizona is completely different from Italy, but that's why I love it so much.
I feel honored to be here at GCU. I feel like they truly care about who I am.
If you're passionate and if you work hard, you can do it, and GCU is here to support you. I will be able to apply my knowledge and make a difference immediately.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
305 hitting percentage for GCU, and that's why they lead. They're 5 points away from winning a crucial first set, and they're making UMKC make the errors.
Yeah, well, they've got to take advantage. Like we said earlier with UMKC, they match up very well against GCU, and if they can take advantage of all of the errors on UMKC, the Lopes will walk away with a win.
Well, the Lopes have been playing incredibly well so far, and that's not something we see all the time from the Lopes. Usually coming out in the first set, maybe a little slow, just getting ready for the game, but not today.
Well, I think you can contribute that a little bit to the win against Chicago State. They honestly dominated that entire game. It's unfortunate that it was their first home win, but regardless, it was a great win. It was a great momentum setter coming into this one against a tougher opponent, somebody who does struggle away. UMKC 0-7 away from their home turf. And you talk about a home field advantage. I mean, there's a reason. Oh, great job.
Put down, nice job out. Beautiful job right out of the, and what we said, look at that, 22-17 off the timeout.
Yeah, Tresha Schuler right there, presence at the net. And I mean, regardless, the Lopes got to take advantage of any mistakes UMKC does, got to take advantage of the fact that they struggle away, and they'll walk away with another conference win. And
well, they're putting it all together right now. 23-17, and a very convincing first set, especially if they can finish it out. Here goes Redfield to serve it, trying to end this first set and keep the momentum into the second set. Almost finds the open spot, but Spiegel dives and keeps it up. Ahern gonna set Redfield. DeFalco gets the kill, 24-17. And we are at the set point.
That's what the Lopes got to do, keep the rallies going, find the holes on the shifts, make these Ruse defenders dive for the ball, and take advantage of the open opportunities.
Punching, oh, nice dive, and couldn't keep it up. Redfield diving to keep that one off the net, but how it fell wasn't allowed DeFalco to get her hand underneath it.
I'll tell you what, if Tegan had somehow gotten that ball over there, we might have been looking at the play of the year, but Tegan dives just a little too late on that one.
24-18, here's the serve. Ahern, Redfield, and Tardy ends it. Set one goes to GCU, 25-18, with 13 kills for UMKC. GCU 11 kills, make it 12 after that one, but the hitting percentage 370 compared to 156, and they've got to be ecstatic after that first set win.
Yeah, the Lopes are doing a great job so far of controlling the possession, trying to keep the rallies going, taking advantage of as many mistakes on the Ruse offensive side as possible. But on the same side, the Lopes got to work on the defensive shifts. Most of the points for UMKC have come on finding open gaps in the Lopes defense.
Well, we'll be right back out here for an intermission report after this break.
I'm Kayla. I'm a setter, and I'm from Southern California.
I'm Emma. I'm a libero from Rochester Hills, Michigan.
Moana. Moana is my favorite movie. My favorite movie is Moana. My favorite movie is Benchwarmers. I'm guilty to say I have the High School Musical soundtrack on my recents on my phone. We have a lot of Screamo, too, the day to remember. We like Snapchat. Our favorite social media is Snapchat. Yeah, because we have a streak and we just keep it so we can know how long we've been friends, and today it's 303 days. Ooh.
Well, welcome back, and take a time out there to get to know some of the players. Like Dew and I said Thursday night, it's always good to see them not just being athletes, but people as well.
Well, of course they are people as well, but yeah, it's nice to get to know some of the athletes. You don't really have a whole lot of interaction for the most part, unless you've got them in a class or so, if you're teammates or whatnot. But yeah, it's always really great to get to know a little bit more in depth about all these fantastic student athletes we have here at GCU.
Well, the Lopes looking to build off the set 1 win. They played incredible with a 370 percentage, and that's something against Chicago State they were able to keep consistent. Like we said, above 220 in each, and against Chicago State, 283 in their first set, negative .057, 25%, and then again back down to .054. So they made the other team make mistakes, and then they executed themselves.
Well, that's the biggest thing too here against UMKC. You can kind of take that sort of game plan to here as well. Just do it's exactly that. Take advantage of the mistakes on UMKC. We've seen a few of them. We've seen UMKC dive for the ball. We've seen them serve the ball straight into the net. The Lopes have to take advantage, because if they do not, UMKC will take advantage of their mistakes. I mentioned it several times so far that the defense has to shift and has to close the holes in the middle of the court.
Well, the leaders for the Lopes, DeFalco 5 kills, Kavensky 4, Tardy 2. In the game Thursday, it was Tardy and Kavensky leading that category with 15 and 14 respectively. And like usual, you saw Adams leading blocks. But here, only one block, and it's from Kendall Gray, 13 on Thursday night. They will go into the second set with a first set victory, and most of the confidence in this building.
Well, confidence is the biggest thing, especially when you got a crowd behind you. And the Lopes have that every time they come out to the GCU arena. And like we said, build off the momentum of this first set and continue to take advantage of the missed opportunities by UMKC.
We are set to go. Serve is going to be from Alex Ratzlaff. And we're off in the second set. How big would it be to start with a kill from Kavensky? Couldn't quite keep it. As Spiegel did a nice play to keep it up. Tardy blocking hands up. That's Harrington and Morey. Nice dive there. This time UMKC not letting these balls fall. Redfield sets, Tardy.
Oh.
That ball falls outside, and GCU will get the first point of the set.
Regardless, fantastic rally by both teams. UMKC able to keep the ball alive several times along with the Lopes, and you see the presence of the net with Harrington. You got to take advantage of missed opportunities, and they did just that.
Well, here's Ahern now, Sends it over to the UMKC side, and we'll see if
Oh,
they can get a run off this.
kind of go over to the Thundering Herd pep band.
Well, I wanted that ball. It flew over my head. Almost.
Ball sailed over your head.
And now to serve, it's going to be number 13, Sadler. Set here from Redfield and punched over by Kavensky. Nice job changing it up. And Tardy's not going to win that battle at the net, and so UMKC gets 2 in a row.
Yeah, Morey and Harrington have been, for the most part, a brick wall there. And the Lopes have got to try to find a way to get it over the top of them.
And that one too hard, so GCU not really being beaten in this opening fart, but beating themselves.
In the Lopes' defense, this is sort of how the first set started, where they were down and they were able to get a few sneaky points, and then at the second half of the first set, they came out and the Lopes were just unstoppable. So I'm not too worried right now about having UMKC have the current lead.
3-2, and you know, we always talk about in volleyball, it's really all goes back and forth often. Not many times do you see someone jump out to a 7-0 lead, 8-0 lead, as GCU gets the point and ties it back up. But yeah, you're not seeing too many times 8-0, 9-1, 10-2. It's usually neck and neck for a decent amount of time until, you know, the stamina effect starts to come out.
Well, you'll definitely see that with these two teams. They match up so well against each other, and it's going to be going back and forth several times. You saw it in the first set. You're going to see it here in the second, probably the third, and if we get to it, a fourth. Of course, as somebody who roots for GCU, I hope we don't get to a fourth, but you never know. Last time they played, they went 5 sets.
Yeah, and like we said, also in conference, you can never really predict what's going to happen, as that one gets the line. 4-4.
Well, it seems like whenever the Lopes are down, they're able to find a way back, and you saw it there again, the backside of the court. Now we're tied.
Set there, and then here comes Harrington to seal the deal on that kill. Harrington finds kill number 3.
Yeah, Alicia Harrington has been absolutely fantastic so far. 3 kills. She's been a fantastic job as a blocker. And now we'll get to see what she can do as a server for the set.
Nice try by DeFalco, but a diving dig by Spiegel, and then Haig comes on and gets the kill. Ties it right back up at 5.
Right off the fingertips of Ratzlaff, and you know, like we said, taking advantage of missed opportunities on UMKC, and it just bounces off the side of the fingers of the defenders of the UMKC Roos, and Lopes tie it back up.
And that is a service ace. So Tressa Schuler, and they have more than they did on Thursday, just here in the first 2 sets. Schuler tries for another one. Oh, that would be cool if she got 2 in a row. Not quite. Ratzlaff is able to keep that one over and get it to a teammate. Egg punch, like that idea. Not able to get a kill attempt there, so here's a set. DeFalco gets the point, 7-5. Great job there. And Tressa Schuler is going to get her 3rd set, her 3rd serve in a row. And then UMKC gets the point. So that was Ratzlaff. And finally they got a kill attempt. They were just having to punch it over after some miscommunication, but UMKC is able to bring it to below 1 as Wiegand Spiegel serves. Received by Ahern. That's kind of misreceived, but DeFalco's able to send it over again, and a double hit. on Haig's part.
Well, a good thought by Haig to kind of get that one over the top of the net, but she catches all of the net and then her hands twice. So missed opportunity by the Lopes, but no real harm done as it's tied 7-7.
Comes a serve from Spiegel. Set there by Carpenter. Now on the far side for UMKC. That one kept up by Schuler. Set there. Tried to be killed by Gray. No success. And then it will be put down by Sadler. UMKC takes the lead 8-7.
Again, UMKC finding the holes of the Lopes, this time on the backside. Right over the top.
Tapped over, Ahern keeps it up. Carpenter sets it to DeFalco, but couldn't get it down. That was powerful. Let's try again. Nice spin on that one. Tapped right over. Carpenter keeps it up. Again, DeFalco denied. And then flying in and getting the kill is Michael Sadler. 5 for her. There's the serve. Carpenter sets it, and then it's killed by Tegan DeFalco, so able to stop a little run from happening. And we're at 9-9. 9-8.
Tegan DeFalco, probably one of the most fun players to watch on this team. 197 kills, 17 aces. She's 5'8", but you can tell she's got some hops.
That's why she's got 7 kills leading this game. Yeah, when she hits it, she really gets some power behind it. She's not messing around. Served there by Redfield. And then received by Redfield. Good job. That one came in at her fast.
Oh.
Tardy wins the battle at the net, sends it over. And that one off the back line. So the kill's going to go to Ratzlaff.
Well, sometimes you get lucky or where that ball ends up landing, and you can mark that one down for UMKC. You just barely clips the backside of the court.
Served by Shomers. Schuler, nice receive. And then put down by Tardy outside of the restraint. So 10-9 as they're hanging around. Claire Kavinsky comes on. Hoping for a little change in momentum. At the net, and it's put down by Kavinsky.
Great
She
job
gives
by
him that
Kavinsky.
spark.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Nice little shot over the net. Sometimes you don't have to spike it down. You can just, nice little soft hit over the top. And Kavinsky does just that.
Nice punch, but kept up by Gray. And then UMKC tries to kill, but it's into the net. And GCU is able to retake the lead. It's 11-10. Just realized, actually, Kendall Gray's in one of my classes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you were talking about how not many times athletes in your class.
Well, you know, they're always either doing, you know, they're doing school work or they got practice or they've got games. And
I think it's the first time GCU have had a, as Tardy's gonna get that kill, 12-10, but yeah, first time I had a class with a volleyball player.
I have a financial accounting class with men's soccer player Bennett Lehner. Nice guy.
Yep, Bennett Lehner, Creighton transfer, right?
I'm sorry?
He's the Creighton transfer.
I believe so.
Creighton or Drake?
Or Dayton.
Dayton, that's right.
Yeah,
Creighton
one
or
of the
Dayton.
two.
I always get them mixed up. There you go. Creighton or Dayton, yes.
Yeah, nice guy.
13-10. GCU able to get 4 in a row and take the lead, and now feeling good. Falco serves. popped up, and can DeFalco get it back over? She can!
Great job. Great rally by the Lopes.
GCU would love to get this point. That would lead to a lot of momentum. Spiegel kept up. That was a great play on the UMKC side, and it's into the net, so GCU gets the point.
Like we talked about, taking advantage. The rally kept going for the Lopes, and they finally pays off with the Roos spiking it into the net.
Wow, so GCU puts 5-0 run together. 5-0 run, and they're up 14-10 after losing, or they were down by 4 and now up by 5. So not too long ago, down 10-6, and they'll force UMKC to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them.
I believe our energy was really good, as we're going in and putting a lot of new things in. We've got to, set the standard of focus and being able to implement things as we go in a live way. But, we've got work to do. But I thought our energy was really good. I thought our enthusiasm was there. Our team's excited, our staff's excited. So overall, it was a good start.
GCU has put together a 6-0 scoring run. Now they lead 15-10 after just trailing 10-7, but only 4 attacking errors so far and 15 for UMKC.
Well, GCU is doing a great job of taking advantage of the mistakes of the Roos, and it's starting at the front lines with Harrington and Maury. A lot of their block attempts have been bouncing off the corners of their fingers and rolling the way of the Lopes, and the momentum has just got to keep shifting the way of GCU, and they'll take the 2-0 advantage.
DeFalco serves and hoping to capitalize off the timeout. 15-10, 7-0 is the run right now. And that one just finds the line, so a good job coming off timeout and making something happen by Brooke Jacobs.
Well, the Lopes went on sort of like a 5-0 run there, scoring a lot of points very quickly, and this point should slow down the Lopes a little bit for UMKC. But with how many mistakes UMKC has been making, I don't know how close they're really going to keep it.
Oh, nice job by Gray, not touching the net, but UMKC responds on that one. And then Harrington. Kovensky tries killing that one. Now back to Harrington, and Harrington finds the line. So 2 in a row off the timeout, 15-12.
Well, now the Lopes got to kind of put a couple points on the board to slow down the Roos. 2 points isn't a whole lot, but it puts them within 3 when about 10 seconds ago they were up by 5.
Exactly, it just shows how fast the Tides can turn. And down by 2 now.
Great presence in the net by Harrington, and I believe Jacobs. Great block.
Nice job getting to the ball there, and Carpenter's ball is going to be 4 times touched. So GCU able to stop the little bleed and get the point.
Taking advantage of mistakes. This is where the Lopes got to kind of pull away here.
UMKC, nice job keeping that one up by Ahern.
Great dig.
Pancaked it, getting the hand right on the floor, and Harrington can't put that one past Ahern. Kovensky is able to get it right down. Maury, and I believe that's Myers at the net. Right in front of him, it's 17-13.
Well, Lopes doing a great job of answering back to that small rally of the UMKC Roos, putting a couple points to the board on themselves.
Sadler serves for UMKC. And then that was a nice job of being just tapped down to the empty hardwood by Morey. And folks, are you pulling all-nighters or doing something that you need extreme energy? Well, don't grab anything generic. Get a Stampede, GCU's very own energy drink loaded with B vitamins, and it'll keep you running with the herd for hours. Am I right?
It's a great energy drink. I'm not much for coffee, and I do have all-nighters to do, and as somebody who doesn't really drink a whole lot of coffee, Stampede is perfect. Mix it with a lot of the different drinks at the GCBC here on campus, and yeah, it's a pretty good tasting drink as well.
Yeah, well, you can't get it at the stores, so check it out at GCBC. 18-16, served by Myers, and hoping GCU can get a point here. Harrington into the net, and it's going to be a GCU point. So they needed that one, and now 19-16, and another attacking error by UMKC.
Well, GCU's doing a good job of responding whenever UMKC scores. Just got to keep taking advantage of the missed opportunities for UMKC, and it looks like we will have a timeout on the court, so we'll take a timeout as well. We'll be right back.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
19-16, the Lopes looking to take a deciding advantage, 2-0 for the halftime break.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're responding pretty well. UMKC had a bit of a rally there to open up the second set, but the Lopes doing a fantastic job of responding with some points of their own.
GCU only one attacking error since the last time out, and 3 for the UMKC Roos, but they were able to get a little run for themselves. Their hitting percentage a little better in this one, as you see Thunder has the broom out. You can't start thinking about the broom or the sweep until you win this one.
Well, Thunder's got a lot of confidence in this Lopes volleyball team, and I share it with him for sure. GCU's been looking great after that first time out, and looking to continue that after this second time out here in the second set, but hopefully, I mean, it'd be great to see a sweep against a team that struggles away from home.
Gotta think that plays into account here for UMKC and GCU. Both teams have that in the back of their minds somewhere. Adams in the Falco block, but couldn't keep it down, and then a point for Harrington. Pass to diving Kavensky.
Well, great diving attempt by Kavensky, but just unable to get her hand underneath the ball.
And now Alicia Harrington is going to serve for UMKC. Seeing if they can bring this one back to even. Carpenter, and no, it's Haig who makes it 3. So UMKC unable to get the point there. GCU able to capitalize.
Great job by Sarah Haig to find the back of the court for another Lopes point.
About 5 service aces thus far for GCU as Schuler gets the 4th service error for GCU. So you get a couple service aces, you got to figure you'll get some service errors. Spiegel serves 20-18. Ahern takes that one, and then DeFalco is able to get the kill on the far side. The rotation didn't allow the UMKC players to get that one back up.
No, great job by Tegan DeFalco, bouncing it right off the hands of the jumping front line for the Roos. This is something we've seen a lot. The Roos trying to get the presence at the net, but it's just getting off the sides of their hands, tipping off fingers, and going the way of the Lopes, and there it is again. Great block by Kendall Gray. Now Lopes 3 points away from taking set 2. and Thunder might want to hang on to that broom if it keeps that way.
Well, that's what we said. They get this one and got to like their odds off the timeout. And this one,
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought that one was out, but I guess they call it barely in, so UMKC gets the point.
Yeah, I got a good view of that one. It just clipped where the two lines meet, the corner of the court. Great placement for UMKC, or a very lucky point, but regardless.
Sometimes rather be lucky than good.
Exactly.
DeFalco, she's good though, and she'll get the point for GCU. 23-19, 2 away from taking a 2-0 set lead. Falco serves it off, 2 away, and GCU has the set point, 24-19. And remember, the first one was 25-18. So if GCU wins this one, they have been consistently beating this team, and that one's out. GCU gets the point. GCU takes a 2-0 set lead. And so for the Lopes, 25-18 in the set one, 25-19 here. 4 service errors, 5 service aces, a hitting percentage of .323, 27 kills, and as a result, they're one set away from getting a sweep here.
Yeah, GCU is doing a fantastic job of taking advantage of the errors of UMKC, and they're looking real good. And I hope they can carry this past halftime and continue to play their game and continue to do a fantastic job at what they're doing.
Well, let's go ahead and check out what Ethington Theaters is doing in Tartuffe.
This is Ashley Romantic with GCU TV, and I am here at Ethington Theater to talk with some of the cast and crew about GCU's latest theatrical production, Tartuffe. So what is Tartuffe about?
It's basically a story about a comedy about hypocrisy, love, and family antics. It's about not always trusting what you see. The lead character of Oregon, he believes this pious, holy facade that Tartuffe puts on, but no one else buys it, and so they sort of have to warn him and get him to see the error of his ways before it's too late for any of them.
And what has been the most fun aspect of production for you?
Probably seeing the whole collaboration of everybody's designs. This whole show is student designed, and to be able to see all of their talents being finally brought all together, because we see little tiny bits and pieces, but this week brings everything finally together, and it's amazing to honor each other and their talents.
And what is the message you want the audience to walk away with?
I want the audience to walk away with the message to trust those who care about you. Those who care about you want nothing but the best for you, and when they're saying, hey, a nice man is going to steal everything from you, you should probably listen to them.
And what has been the most fun aspect of the show for you?
This is a very physical role for me, which I'm not used to, so I do a lot of physical comedy. I roll around on the floor and stomp my feet and run around like a crazy person, which is kind of fun.
Why should people come and see this show?
It's really funny. Like, it's very entertaining. We have a great time up here, and I think people have a great time watching it. The costumes and the set and the props and everything is gorgeous. So even if you're not really a theater person, I think you can come and, see these wigs and the costumes and be like, wow, they put a lot of work into this. So I think people will enjoy it.
Tartuffe will be playing October 13th through the 15th and 20th through the 22nd. Make sure to grab a ticket because it's a show you don't want to miss.
It's not too late. You can check that out tonight and tomorrow. That is Tartuffe. And also GCU doing something cool. Grand Canyon Worship album. They're coming out with that. Phil, do you have anything else on that for us?
I think we should take a look at it.
Let's do that. You can find it on Spotify and iTunes, which is neat that GCU's doing that. And let's go for behind the scenes look at the new song, It Is You.
Oh, Father, make us one, keep praying till your kingdom come.
Heartbeat for you. Will you trust that I won't leave? God, you have planned it all for me. Everything I am to be. Anchor us, we vessels in you, oh Lord. We are nothing without you.
My soul's filled with your presence. I feel you all around. My soul is filled with your Holy Spirit. You're speaking to me right now.
You are faithful, you are faithful, you are faithful to me, God. I give you control and trust you through it all. You say there'll be trials, but you tell me to delight in the promise that the sun will bring tomorrow's light. Who am I that you would love me? Who am I that you should care? Who am I that you would call me? Lord, your love's beyond compare. Only you satisfy. Only you satisfy.
I had this experience while I was praying. I had my eyes closed and I just saw a picture of God handing me a pool of water with a tree in it. And I was asking God what that was, and he said, that's like living water. And he's like, here, I want you to have this, because when you abide in me, then you don't run dry. You're planted by a stream of living water. In this picture that I had while I was praying, I handed that to some people that were like behind me. Then they kept handing it off, and they kept handing it off, and they kept handing it off. And so that just kind of went on forever. And then he handed me a handful of sand, and I blew the sand away, and there were words written on my hands. I turned around and put that like on the person's chest behind me, and then them, and then them, and then them. And then there was a dove handed to me. And so I asked God what all of that meant, and it was like God offering me salvation. It was God offering me his words written on my heart. It was God offering me the Holy Spirit. And basically him saying, come to me, I want you to be with me. In that picture that I was having while I was praying, I saw myself and a bunch of other people kind of just kneel down at an altar. And when we looked up, Jesus was standing there, and he lifted your head up, and he was looking straight into your eyes. And we were all in plain clothes, and it was like he unveiled you somehow. And when he did, all of our clothes turned white. And it was kind of like all of the saints, all of the people that have accepted salvation becoming new. And we all stood up, and he kissed us on our forehead, and he sent us on our way. And as we went away, and we walked kind of just into the world, it was like everybody that we encountered turned white also. And so it was just this really cool picture of salvation and what happens as Christians when we follow God and encounter other people and show them the love of Jesus.
Who am I that you would love me? Who am I that you should care? Who am I that you would call me? Lord, your love's beyond compare. It is you who stands eternal. It is you who
Well, for GCU, at the top of the broadcast, we talked about how the Lopes were going to have to make UMKC make mistakes, and they were going to have to execute, and that's exactly what they've done. Only 6 attacking errors for the Lopes, 15 for UMKC.
Well, that's exactly what GCU's got to do. They match up so well against UMKC that there's really no negatives on both sides. It's just, like you said, taking advantage of as many mistakes that UMKC can make. And on the same side, GCU's got to plug up their mistakes as well. They've got to be stronger on the backcourt and a little more closed in on the middle court. UMKC in the first set were able to find a lot of points in the middle on the shifts on defense for GCU. And if they can plug in these holes and continue to take advantage of the missed opportunities for UMKC, well, they're going to walk away with a win.
Yeah, and the hitting percentage for GCU, 317 Thursday night against Chicago State. Tonight, 323. And if they can keep that consistent, they're going to look at another win here. Let's take a break and be right out for the start of set 3 after this.
There's a burst of excitement at GCU as the Lopes gear up for their season, and they're ready for action. The only NCAA Division I men's soccer team in the state will dominate the field at our state-of-the-art 6,000-seat soccer stadium. Former MLS Coach of the Year, head soccer coach Shellis Heineman, leads this all-star squad at the epicenter for soccer in the state. Come catch all the family-friendly excitement. Games will sell out. Get your GCU single-game tickets today at lopestickets.com.
Well, Philip, let's just talk real quickly about some of the keys you think. What are the Lopes going to need to do in this third set to win consistently like they've done?
Well, I'm going to keep talking about it until it's not true, and they're going to have to keep taking advantage of UMKC's mistakes. They've gotten lucky. There has been strong presence at the net for UMKC, but GCU has gotten lucky that most of the returns off blocks have been going either out of bounds, have been touched too many times, or have just been going straight into the net, and GCU's been able to find points when UMKC is at their worst. If they can keep doing that, they can continue to take advantage of the fact that UMKC is so bad on the road and put them from 0-7 to 0-8 with a hopeful sweep. I'd love to see a sweep here, Alex.
And if I'm not mistaken, the first sweep of the season for GCU on the winning side. DeFalco serves, and who will get the first point? It's a net violation? It is. It's a net violation on UMKC, and it's 1-0 GCU right out of the gates.
Again, we talked about taking advantage. Net violation for UMKC, and now if GCU can throw more points on the board and get an early lead, they can walk away with a big win.
There it is. Take advantage of the mistakes.
Exactly.
That's all we need to say.
But like I said, I'm going to keep saying it until it's not true. With UMKC making a lot of mistakes early on, GCU's just got to be able to take advantage of them.
Tries for the kill, and Ahern can't get the hand there. She tried to punch it there. I maybe would have liked to see two-hand effort. I don't think that was as far out as she thought, but nonetheless, it's Harrington's kill at 5, and they've got 3 players above 5, Maury, Sadler, and Harrington, but those aren't really too high.
No, not really, but either way, I mean, the Lopes are doing a fantastic job, and I'm pretty sure almost every single set the Lopes have either led, lost the lead, but were able to get it back, and hopefully they can keep the lead this time and finish this game off.
It's a very valid point. I mean, Kavensky finds the corner there, but yeah, they go up, kind of seems in the first 5 or 6 points, and then they'll go down by a couple points.
But they've
and then
done
they'll
a
regain
great
the
job
lead.
of keeping it very, very close. I mean, it hasn't really been a significant lead for GCU or a significant lead for UMKC, and that's got to talk to both teams who have not really been perfect on either side of the ball, but they're both doing a fantastic job of keeping the game close and keeping it competitive.
Well, I mean, look at the efforts to get those balls. It just seems like those times, as GCU gets the point, there's not really a way to stop them right now because they're keeping all the balls up. As you get a look at this replay, well, we're not going to see the play before that kept it up, but the dive by DeFalco to keep it up, and then Tardy on her knees, it's just something we weren't necessarily seeing earlier in the season. And a mistake by UMKC leads to a 5-1 GCU lead.
Well, a fantastic block by Maria Adams. And I mean, the presence of the net has been strong for the Lopes. Adams, Tardy, and then you throw in Kavensky and a few other players, and GCU has done a great job of counterbalancing what UMKC does very well, which is also blocking.
Speaking of blocks, GCU doubling up on UMKC here, 6-3. So not really too high of numbers there, but not needed, and not exactly sure why that point goes to GCU, but nonetheless, tripled up on the Roos.
Tell you what, I'm not going to complain about it.
Nope.
Take points anytime we get them.
Well, I didn't see what it exactly was officially, but GCU up 6-2. We know that. Tapped over by Harrington, and then Kavensky, I'm sorry, that was Adams who tried to get the kill. Ahern takes that one, and then Adams again, and a net violation on GCU. Yeah, she got just a little too close.
Well, no big deal. Great job by Ahern. Fantastic job of Ahern regardless. Just got a little too close to the net, but great presence at the net for Ahern and the rest of the Lope defenders.
And Haig trying there. They're going to get the point. Amazing. Just, it didn't seem like we've seen anything like this inside this arena so far. The falls are all going to GCU. You know, all these balls that were really falling in places against them are now benefiting them.
Well, I'm going to keep knocking on every piece of wood I can find, because if this is the way the game's going to go, the Lopes are going to walk away with a win at home and a big win against a conference rival in UMKC, and I am 100% okay with the Lopes getting most of the possessions going their way.
Kept up, and then DeFalco almost off the net again, but yeah, just hitting that bottom lip and trailing downwards too fast. Shomers serve it here. Her ninth serve, I should say, and Haig blocked but kept up by Kavensky. Now to Falco on the far side. She'll miss the constraints, and UMKC trails by 2.
Well, like we said, the Lopes are able to get a lead and then, you know, sort of lose it just a little bit, not enough to where it's significant, but right around this time in the last set, the Lopes were up and UMKC was able to tie it up, but thankfully for the Lopes, they were able to keep the lead.
Haig, nice reception there, running up on Shomers. Good job to keep that one up. DeFalco, set by Carpenter, back to DeFalco, and it's sent back over. Those are balls that would have fallen previously, and now if GCU can win this point, momentum's gonna swing.
Oh,
that one's just barely. And a timeout is called. We will be right back on the court after this.
At GCU, earning your degree online doesn't have to be without the college experience. To find your purpose, it takes support from those around you. GCU's leadership offers over 3 decades of experience in delivering real-world degree programs online. GCU's online class size averages fewer than 17 students with full-time faculty. Integrate your education with your faith and Christian worldview. Welcome to the family. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University online.
7-6, GCU with the lead. It seems like the first 2 sets, by this time GCU would be trailing and coming back, so it's good to see them overcoming and in the lead right now.
Well, it's always nice to see the Lopes with the lead, and the thing is keeping the lead is another thing, and currently the Lopes have the lead, but in previous sets, 2 to be exact, they have had the lead, lost the lead, but were able to keep the lead going for the rest of the game. And if they can continue to do that, continue to take advantage of missed opportunities, well, we can see a clean sweep for GCU. So 7-6, winding down here from the first time out of set number 3. GCU looking to continue their strong streak in set 3 as we go back down to the court. So for UMKC, Allie Shomers with the serve. So Shomers, the serve. Lopes with the rally. Over the top, DeFalco diving UMKC. Great rally again by the Lopes, setting something up. Returned by UMKC.
Nice
Great
dive by Ahern in the back.
Great job by Ahern.
Selling out.
DeFalco with a great hit. Returned by UMKC. Ahern again keeping it alive. DeFalco comes over to help.
Long rally right here.
That out of bounds.
Yep.
Lopes again.
That's a big point off a timeout right there because, you know, they needed that break because they gave UMKC a run, and the last thing you want to do is give them confidence in the last set because, I mean, everyone in here and GCU, everyone on the team wants to win it right now in 3 sets.
Oh, definitely. It'd be great to see a sweep, and you saw Thunder earlier with the broom, so you know he's ready for a sweep as well.
He was ready for it in the first set, though,
Yeah.
which is, I think, a bit premature.
But if we can pull it off.
Right. Looks like it right now. Haig, this GCU team just needing to play like they have been all day, and a mistake right there by Ratzlaff into the net. So a combination of that and GCU dominance has them 16 points away from a 3-0 match win against in-conference rival UMKC.
There we go. Out of bounds again on UMKC. And we talked about, Alex, them taking advantage of missed opportunities, and the Lopes are doing a great job of that right now.
And well, another attacking error for Sadler. And I believe that's 19 for the Ruse. Ahern, nice job reaching back, kind of awkwardly, and that ball falls. Haig's able to get it off a defender's hands and inbounds. So 11-6 now lead.
Well, again, we talked about bouncing off the hands of the jumping blockers on the front lines, and you know, GCU's doing a great job at taking advantage and keeping this lead nice and big.
Ahern can't get that one. It's a nice play by Ratzlaff.
When we talk about advantages at home, and one of the biggest advantages GCU has is the GCU Arena, and you can tell that very significantly when you come to a men's basketball game. And the next men's basketball game is November 2nd, so don't forget to get your tickets at lopetickets.com. First men's basketball game of the season, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the likes of St. John's coming in. And, of course, New Mexico State.
Hopefully we can start off the season with a win at home. Right into the net again.
It's going to be a lit season for men's basketball as GCU takes the lead 12-7 right now, but a lot of hype and speculation.
Well, you know, the GCU is not, GCU didn't lose too many seniors last year, but, you know, the biggest loss obviously is Dwayne Russell. He's over in France right now, having a pretty good professional career over there, and GCU is able to add transfer Casey Benson from Oregon, and I'm excited to see this team come out.
I think the whole school is, as that one sends right into the net, and the Lopes get a little more excited here because 13-8, they're less than halfway away, and how do you, there has to be some kind of, you know, they beat a 10-win team in Chicago State on Thursday, and now this 7-win team, but there's got to be some excitement here for GCU on the bench.
Well, I know I've discussed it before, and we know GCU has had some, relatively decent success at home, but UMKC struggles terribly away, and that's kind of one of the reasons why GCU's got a nice lead.
14-8, Lopes lead by 6. We'll be right back.
GCU offers more than 200 innovative programs across 9 colleges, which now include cutting-edge next-generation programs in engineering, computer science, and information technology. Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university. Visit gcu.edu.
Welcome back, and 14-8, Phillip. It seems like the Lopes have really garnered I would say, momentum from Thursday night's win. 6 wins already for them. That's as much as they had last season.
Well, you know, like we said, they're taking advantage so far of UMKC. They're taking advantage of a nice home crowd. They're taking advantage of the struggles UMKC has away. And, well, I mean, you see it on the board, 14-8 in the second set. They're currently looking for the sweep today. And if they keep playing this way and keep taking advantage, they're going to walk away with a win.
Well, this is a UMKC team that has played some tough games against some tough opponents and won early in the season. They beat Rutgers in Piscataway, New Jersey. That was a 3-0 win. And that's a Big Ten squad, as well as, I believe they beat Creighton. A big program, so this UMKC team has talent.
Well, just sometimes you're a little off your game.
Exactly right.
It happens to the best teams. We saw it last week in college football with Clemson losing to Syracuse.
That's right, and especially with their record and history on the road, some teams really just can't get over that road hump. They just love playing in their own building, and without it, they're unsuccessful. (15-8), almost doubling up on the Roos. Nice play at the net, Tardy and Gray, and they're going to get the point with a net violation. Now it's 16-8. Now they've doubled up, and they can really smell blood now.
Yeah, GCU really wants that sweep, and they really want to just end this thing early. And UMKC, it seems like the wind has been taken out of their sails as they have just been slowing down ever since the beginning of this third set. That one goes out of bounds on GCU. So 16-9 is the score. And going to serve is number 2, Kennedy Myers. Junior with 14 kills, 223 assists on the season.
Kavensky and DeFalco lead GCU in kills with 10 and 9. As UMKC is going to get that one 2 in a row.
It's a little miscommunication between Redfield and Kavensky over there in the corner, but not too much harm done. Or I'm sorry, number 15, Natalie Tardy.
7 for Harrington, and the next for UMKC is 6 with Ratzlaff as another point for UMKC, so a little run here.
Well, we talked about GCU having a lead and then slowly losing it, but able to get it back, and they had the momentum going for them at the end of this timeout, and it just seems like they're kind of losing a little bit of it, getting a little too.
And as I give Thunder a high five, hey, there he is, right here. If we can, hey, can we get the cam to us real quick? I think Thunder's got something to say. There we go. There we go. Enjoying this game. 16-12 here as Myers is going to serve. I don't think these are going to fit over his antlers here, but I think he'd be good on the mic. Back to the court. And then thrown down. So now 16-13, and a little worrisome here for the Lopes or not?
I'm still not too worried. They have done this in previous sets where they've gotten the lead and slowly lost the lead, but not to the point where they lose the lead completely, which is good. And you see right there an error by UMKC. So 17-13, they've got a 4-point lead. UMKC, minus all the mistakes, have been keeping this game very, very close.
I was going to say, you take out some of the mistakes and maybe a couple different outcomes, but mistakes are a part of the game, and that was a huge one as Jordan Sanchez is going to come on for the first time for the Lopes as Emma Ahern serves. And like I said, that last point, huge for GCU. And what are we going to have? A GCU point. They give a point to GCU. So that's huge. The Lopes not expecting that, I don't think. The place went quiet after they thought it went to UMKC, but now it's 18-13. And they're coming down the road, and there's Kavensky. Rises up over everything, and that UMKC bench looks extremely deflated. but there's nothing they can do to stop a rolling GCU Lope squad.
Well, we talk about momentum for two teams that match up so well, and you can kind of feel, Alex, the momentum start to shift in the way of the Lopes. And of course, as I say that, UMKC gets a point, but regardless, GCU has been doing a fantastic job closing up the holes and keeping the mistakes on the side of UMKC.
19-14, so UMKC's brought it a little closer, but Sanchez wanting that one coming on. Kavensky took it. Nice job calling her off. Myers. And then Tardy, yeah, that was tough, but Adams kept it up. A nice tap to keep it up, no double touch.
Ooh.
And that one just, man, that was a nice kill.
Well, it seems like every time the Lopes are able to get a couple points on the board, UMKC answers somewhat right back, and that one just finds the back half of the court, and Harrington is hoping for a comeback for UMKC, but let's see what she can do here on this serve.
Really need to. Well,
we keep talking about mistakes, and GCU's got to limit theirs as we're kind of closing in on the end of this third set. The lead's starting to come a little closer than GCU would like. At one point, they were up by 8 this set.
Yeah, well, that was just nerves from Sanchez coming on, and for the first time looking to win. And we'll see if they go back to Sanchez. Yeah. And the point goes to GCU.
There we go.
So that's what you need. I guess a deflection, but I didn't think that was on the line.
Well, it seems like the theme of the night for UMKC has been deflections, whether it's up front at the net or behind in the back. And, well, GCU's just got to keep taking advantage. They're 5 points away from a sweep against UMKC.
Spiegel hits that one high into the air. And then tapped over on the wrist by Myers. And that one's going to go for GCU as well. Deflection, deflection, deflection.
Exactly. Just tipped right off the hand of Harrington and goes right out of bounds. And GCU now 4 points away from a sweep.
Carpenter serves that one. Myers sets. And again, some miscommunication in the back ranks. But rather have 2 go for the ball than none. Nice job of Carpenter to get that one. Set by Ahern, and now we're going to see Haig. Haig couldn't get that one down. A nice play by UMKC to keep it up. Ahern right off the hands. That's perfect. Kavensky taps, double touch. But a nice job of UMKC to send it back over to GCU. Carpenter, Haig, kept up by Harrington. Right at the net, it's going to be a fight, and won by Haig. It's in, and they take a 6-point lead. It's 22-16.
Fantastic job by Sarah Haig off the rebound and off the return of UMKC for another Lopes point.
3 away from a 3-0 set sweep. There's the serve. Carpenter set it over right into the net, and Ratzlaff, another air for this attack on UMKC, and GCU 2 points away.
Oh.
Put down, a nice play right there.
Yeah, they caught the Lopes sleep in there. A great sort of fake by Kennedy Myers on UMKC. They've been setting off the return, and this time she just puts it right over the net for a point.
23-17. Haig wanting the last points. So you can do it. Kavensky gets it down, and we are at the match point now. 24-17. The wave keeps rolling for the Lopes.
Kavensky doing a fantastic job tonight of finishing off plays for the Lopes, and she's one of the big reasons why they've got the lead and are 1 point away from a sweep.
Everyone on their feet and quiet. Kavensky into the net. And
we'll just have to wait.
I was going to say, prolonging maybe the inevitable.
I hope so.
24, well, with how they've been playing, it is inevitable. You know, it's just a fact that GCU just has executed much better today and looked like the better team.
Well, they've just got to finish it now.
Haig trying to end it. And this one keeping going here. 24-19, and Allie Shomers.
So we've got a timeout on the court, and we'll take a timeout here. When we come back, finishing up the third set.
I'm Dewey, a student here at GCU studying communications. My dad graduated from GCU in 2009, and he is definitely bleeding purple. He loves GCU to the max. Me choosing to follow in his footsteps was the best idea I could have chosen. I absolutely love sports, playing them and watching them, and I could talk about them all day. GCU has made it possible for me to pursue my passion of becoming a sports broadcaster. The program they had here and the direction it could take me was exactly what I wanted and what I needed. Knowing that I could talk to a professor or a counselor about literally anything that has to do with my academia or even just my personal life was encouraging and exciting to know. The friends and the roommates that I've had in the last 3 years have made my quality of life 1,000 times better. I am a GCU Lope, and I will forever always be one.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Well, welcome back, folks. 24-19. The Lopes up 2 sets to none. We're 1 point away, but a timeout called right there, and we're back onto the court. Hoping GCU can get this win. Shomers is going to serve, so GCU just 1 point away. Carpenter for DeFalco, and it falls down on the GCU side, and it's 24-20.
We always talk about momentum, and momentum is huge when you're trying to close out a set, and this is not where GCU wants UMKC to pick back up momentum, trying to close out the sweep.
Haig, nice job keeping that one up, and now can DeFalco send it over? She does, it's a good one. Shomers, and it's a point for UMKC, 24-21. Now maybe folks are getting a little more nervous. Can't be a letdown on the GCU side. Mentally they stay focused.
Oh, great job by
Stays
DeFalco
up,
to keep
yep.
that alive.
Keeps it up. Harrington. Maybe just needing to wait for a mistake for UMKC.
And those have happened all night, and one here would be huge.
Here we go, Carpenter sets. Haig can't put that one down, kept up though. Now Ahern, DeFalco's gonna get a chance. Finds the line, and they've got it. A walk-off kill in the back corner, 25-21. The Lopes get a 3-set lead and beat in-conference foe UMKC. How big is this win today?
Well, it's huge. Beating a conference rival is regardless of record, is huge. UMKC struggles away continue. 0-8 so far on the road, and GCU gets their second straight win at home, and hopefully this momentum will carry them for the rest of the season.
Well, let's toss it out to a break and be right back to wrap up.
If you want your life to count, you don't have to have a high IQ, and you don't have to have a high EQ. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to have good looks. You don't have to be from a good family or from a good school. You just have to know a few basic, simple, glorious, majestic, obvious, unchanging, eternal things, and be gripped by them and be willing to lay down your life for them, which is why anybody in this crowd can make a worldwide difference. Because it isn't you, it's what you're gripped with. Don't waste your life. Don't waste it.
Welcome back. Once again, the Lopes win 3-0. The leaders for GCU, DeFalco 13 kills, so again a freshman up there. And for UMKC, Alicia Harrington with 8. Well, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. Thanks so much for watching. Alongside Philip Katafimo, I've been Alex Larson. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And again, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Have a great day, and go Lopes.